Good evening. My name is Melanie Finch, and I'm here tonight because of people like those you saw in the video and the people like you that believed in me. Several years ago, my husband and I were getting by just fine. We were renting a room through a friend, and we were feeling good about life. Unfortunately, we found out that the money we were contributing for rent was not being paid to the landlord, and we lost our housing. Without anywhere else to go, we ended up on the streets. When we became homeless, my husband and I were sober. We had our little boy, Carrie, who we knew we didn't want to put in that environment. So we made the heartbreaking decision to leave him with someone we trusted. Our plan was to find a new place quickly to be together as a family again. Living on the streets is rough, and all you want to do is escape the miserable feeling. That escape came with its own misery, in the shape of addiction to various substances. There is so much judgment and misconception about why people become homeless. For us, it was an addiction, but that came afterwards. The trauma we experienced was more than we could bear at times. One day, our tent caught on fire, we got beat up, and we were even flooded once by Steelhead Creek. The stress of all these events pushed us deeper into the arms of addiction. It was our only escape. Our first interaction with VOA was the triage shelter. We came into the program just looking for warmth and a few meals. But we honestly were not ready to change our lives. If you ask any of the VOA staff at that time, we were the problem clients. We didn't want to listen, we didn't follow the rules, and eventually we ended up back on the river. It was January of 2020 when we heard about the shelter at Capitol Park that we decided to give it another try. We weren't even aware that it was run by VOA at the time, but when we walked in, we were greeted by familiar faces. I am sure those employees hated seeing us again, knowing that we were such problem clients. They didn't show us, though, and welcomed us with open arms. What I didn't know when I walked in was that I was pregnant with my precious daughter. The employees encouraged me to get a pregnancy test, and when we found out that I was actually pregnant, they went out of their way to make sure I was taken care of, giving me extra food and comfort to stay healthy. Our case manager was very concerned about the baby and offered my husband a recovery program. That's when I decided we both needed help. I entered a 90-day program in the middle of my pregnancy, and when it ended, my beautiful daughter, Clarissa, was born. A few weeks later, our family was offered a space at VOA's transitional living program. We continued to work through our recovery process and started working on getting our son back. During this time, our son was still living with the family we entrusted him with. Unfortunately, it turned into a bad situation. The staff at VOA helped us go through all the paperwork and process to find our son and eventually bring him home with us. Our family of four was finally reunited. My husband found a great job, and we were able to graduate the family transitional program. And now we are living in our own apartment. I can't tell you what it means to have both of our kids under one roof. They're both healthy and thriving, and none of it would be possible without your continued support, VOA. When we first graduated from the transitional living program, I was working as a waitress. I had inconsistent hours. I was working long nights, and it wasn't healthy for my family. Thankfully, VOA stepped in once more. I received a call from my old case manager, Steve, saying that VOA was looking for staff, and he wondered if I would be interested in coming back in a new role. It would be better pay and more consistent hours, allowing me to spend more time with my family. Of course, I said yes, and after the interview process was hired on at VOA. Today, I am proud to be able to give back to the programs that gave me so much. I know what clients are going through and how they are struggling with their addictions, because I did. I am able to listen to them and encourage them that change is possible if they follow the same steps. I wake up excited to go to work every morning, knowing that I am making a difference in lives. I felt like I literally had nothing, and VOA helped me gain everything. I know that none of my journey would be possible without generous people like all of you who go above and beyond to make sure that we are loved and cared for. VOA helped me gain everything. They gave me the tools I needed to restore my marriage. They helped me get my son back. And they walked me through having a healthy pregnancy with my daughter. They welcomed us in when we didn't have anywhere to go, and now I am proud to give back. I am grateful for the ways that each of you has impacted my life, even without even knowing it. You brought me in from living on the streets with no hope to now being able to give back to my community. Thank you for believing in me, even when I couldn't. And now I want to introduce another amazing woman with another amazing story, Michelle Epstein.